I thought perhaps we were going to speak about channeling today, but now I get really curious to hear more about Kundalini awakening.
Yeah.
And that's something I haven't really covered that much on the show.
Mhm.
And that was new to me that you had a Kundalini awakening before I started doing research on you earlier this morning. And you said that it was difficult and challenging to go through. Didn't sound very pleasant. Now,
Yeah.
why? What is good with having a Kundalini awakening, to be honest?
Well, I've come to understand the reason that I had the dark night of the soul and the experiences that I've had is because this teaching, or the way that I'm going to be communicating with people, really requires me to know every aspect of that energy. And believe me, I do. I've experienced the kriyas, which are spontaneous movements, automatic mudras with the hands, all of these types of siddhas, spiritual, what you would call gifts, or things that happen to a human because they have activated this energy. So what is the Kundalini energy? Well, it's a divine feminine energy. It's a Shakti energy that sits at the base of the spine of every human. And so it's a universal consciousness of which everyone has. When that consciousness will enact is different in everyone. But when it does, it will cause a lot of self-reflection, observation. In the beginning, a lot of judgment, condemnation when you see things about yourself that you don't like. So it's going to kick off a lot of acceleration of experiences that can be unpleasant. There are some people who do a lot of work on themselves prior to having that energy raise, and therefore have removed a lot of negativity from their systems, and they just have a very smooth, natural, warm kind of rise, and they don't go through the dark night of the soul because that's primarily brought on by a kickoff of negativity that's stored within you. And so it's hard to tell how long that's going to last based upon what each person has encountered in their lives, their past life, their lineage. All of that plays a part in the amount of suffering that might be contained in the vessel that is them. And so what really happens when that energy takes off, there's a dramatic rise, and you'll feel it puncture each one of the energy centers, and then it'll go up to the top of the head, and then there'll be this explosion. There's a lot of noise, a lot of hummingbird sound, a lot of buzzing, a lot of sensation as it pierces the energy centers. You can feel it backing up if it hits a blockage, and then it will pour back down through all of the energy centers, and it'll make a whooshing sound, and it'll feel like a hot lava that actually, very pleasant, pours down through your body, and then the whole thing ends with a full body orgasm, and you're laying there thinking, well, what the hell just happened here? So that, and people don't realize that they think an orgasm exists in the base, but every energy center is capable of that sensation, and that is the universal consciousness of the divine feminine, or what the universe is about, really. It's a powerful electrical charge of energy that creates a very euphoric state. And so once this energy does this dramatic rise, a lot of people will think, wow, I've got it made now. I just had a Kundalini awakening. I'm going to be the most spiritual person in the world and get everything I want. Some people look at it this way, but really the work has just begun. That happened, and it took over 25 years for that energy to rattle through my system with a lot of kriyas. If you look that up, it's a lot of shaking, a lot of crying, a lot of extensive yawning, eye leaking. There's all kinds of bodily sensations that come with that energy, and a real encouragement within you to sit and to allow this to happen. It's like the energy merges with you, and so you're a consciousness. You're running your body. You're projecting yourself into the body that you're in. So in some sense, you are a channeler. And so when you awaken this divine feminine Kundalini energy, you're inviting another consciousness that's actually going to run alongside of yours, that has the ability to bring in the soul aspect of you and unite you with that. When that actually occurs, what happens is you get very fluid speaking, you get a great magnetism, it creates an attraction, people coming to you, you walk around, you are lifting vibration and activating people because of that energy. And so what actually occurs is Robin gets a good flow now because she's connected to the divine part of herself. That Kundalini energy being released is an attractive quality to those that want to teach through the vessel. It's one of the reasons I became a channeler. All channelers are not Kundalini activated, but the ones that are sought after because the energy is magnetizing. It's one that creates great numbers to come to it. And this is what is attractive to a group that wants to channel through someone who has active Kundalini. Basically, when someone activates their Kundalini, you're going to be in service. There's just no way about it. It's an energy that moves you. You're compelled to do what it is that you have come here to do. And so even though you don't really like people knowing you not as Robin anymore, anymore and thinking you're crazy sometimes, you don't really care about that anymore, because this energy has an influence over you that lets you put that aside and go on to do the work that you were meant to do. So I would say that was a natural evolution that happened within a year or two. It took a couple of years. There was a lot of discomfort with it and wondering how people were going to perceive me now that they see me doing what I'm doing, and it's quite different than what I did as Robin. But the reason I'm doing it, let's just talk about that for a moment, is the satisfaction that comes to one that unites themselves with the soul aspect of themselves is indescribable. It's a level of connection and happiness and ability to manifest and create beyond anything that you can imagine for yourself. So I would like more people to experience it, and I would like to assist in raising the consciousness of humanity in that goal or desire.
Very fascinating. I get curious about this feminine Kundalini energy. If that is a part of our soul's evolution, so that either in this life or maybe a previous life, I don't know, or a future life, we all will experience a Kundalini awakening because it's part of the evolution. Or is this something that only a few souls are experiencing, sort of as like a spiritual gift that some souls like opt into having an experience of?
Yeah. Well, there is no superior person or someone that's going to be selected. Let's use that example. Everybody's worthy. And what motivates the Kundalini energy is desire. What motivates a female? She wants to be admired, looked at, noticed. This is part of the divine feminine energy. And the Kundalini energy is no different. When you start to notice her, worship her a little bit, and cultivate your connection to her or your relationship with it, that's actually a stimulant. That's the thing that actually gets the energy's attention and starts moving it up the spine. And oftentimes you won't even know that's happening. What will be marked by is a great increase or a desire in spirituality in that direction. A lot of people don't understand why they got this thirst or this desire to get on this path, read everything, learn as much as they can. It's insatiable. You probably know yourself because you've been on it. And so that energy is stirring. That's the creator of that desire that you have to know yourself in that way. And so it's just it's something that's going to happen to you once, and it's going to happen to everybody eventually. Yes. Mm-hmm. And in this acceleration period, now that the vibration of the planet is rising, that's a stimulant to energy centers. So you're going to see more and more people waking up and having that activation occur. And that's one of the jobs or things that I'm doing in the work that I do.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.